How is it going, everyone? Yes, the PlayStation Store did kick off its November savings sale, but this is one of the rare instances that they kicked off another sale, and it's not just a crossover of deals from the November savings sale. It's entirely different deals, and some people might look at the deals that are offered in this sale to be even better than the ones in the November savings sale, because the PlayStation Indie sale is going to have a lot of games that a lot of you guys haven't played, so there's gonna be some worthwhile stuff here for sure for a lot of you guys. Now, with this being the Indie sale, I'm gonna cover it, I'm gonna look through the deals. Just keep in mind that this is a lot of lower key games and games that I personally have not played. You know, I see the comment section all the time about, oh, these are the same games over and over again, you gotta talk about different games and whatnot, and sometimes, you know, I gotta be honest with you guys, like, I am not this special entity. I operate under the same 24 hours a day time constraint that you guys do, and I cannot play every single game that comes out. It is the unfortunate reality that we have to accept as human beings, that time is a finite quantity, and I'm sorry that I have not played every indie game that has come out, and I won't play every indie game that comes out because it just would be humanly impossible. But nevertheless, there are certainly games here that are going to be worthwhile pickups and a lot of good stuff, so let's get right into it and let's talk about it. I have it filtered via full games, game bundles, and premium editions. We still have around 1,700 deals, so a lot of stuff here. Claire Obscure Expedition 33 Deluxe Edition, 20% off for $48. Man, my social media blowing up over Expedition 33 winning Game of the Year. Arc Raiders is now a contender as well. Look, I'm sure that the Game of the... You know, I feel like that's a good thing, that I think that this year's Game of the Year is going to actually be a contentious debate, because there have been so many good games. You know, I talk up Expedition 33, I talk up Death Stranding 2. Some people get mad that I don't mention KCD 2, but there's been so many good games. But yes, Expedition 33 is tremendous. Do you really need to get the deluxe edition? Probably not. You get some outfits with that, but yeah, $48, it's still very much worth it. And honestly, buy the deluxe edition to support Sandfall if you want. But nonetheless, 48 bucks on that. Cuphead, 30% off for $13.99 on that. Excellent game there. Pretty challenging, but Cuphead's a really, really solid time, and it does hold up in price, so 30% off isn't that bad. Rematch Elite Edition, 20% off for $39.99. Another one of the breakout titles this year. Got a lot of attention. You know, not a lot talked about these days, but still got quite a lot of attention, and it was done by Slow Clap, the people that did Sifu. And I remember when Rematch was first revealed, I was like, what are they doing here? But goes to show, soccer's pretty big, and doing a arcadey soccer game, you know, it was right up the alley of a lot of people. But yeah, 40 bucks on that. Walking Dead, the Telltale Definitive Series, $12.49 on that is absolutely phenomenal. You got the 4 seasons, you got the Michonne miniseries, you got 400 days, just a lot of good stuff for that price of $12.49, and I would definitely highly recommend that. A great deal there. So $12.49 on that, 75% off. Definitely a good pickup, especially if you're one of those guys that, you know, you're a trophy fiend. Please don't be buying these slap together $2 games. You know, if you want to get some trophies but play some good games, you know, Walking Dead, the Definitive Series is gonna let you get a lot of trophies there, brother. So $12.49 on that. Poppy Playtime Chapter 4 is $15. Date Everything, I know you guys been waiting on that. $22.49 on that. Adam Fall Deluxe Edition is $60. Yeah, that's nobody should be spending $60 on Adam Fall. That's insane. Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader, $22.49 on that. That's an RPG with a ton of depth to it, a ton of decision making, a lot of dialogue. It's again, if you want an RPG with just an insane amount of depth, you'll find that in Rogue Trader, and it's quite good in that regard. But yeah, it could be a little bit too much for some people, honestly, but yeah, $22.49 on that. A lot of content there as well. Car Mechanic Simulator, $9 on that. Disney's Epic Mickey Rebrushed, 55% off for $27. Good to see that get cheaper and cheaper. Disney's Epic Mickey is really solid. Like, I played it on the Nintendo Wii when it came out, and Rebrushed is a really solid upgrade of that. Maybe not $60 solid, but for $27, I would say it's pretty damn good if you're into platformers. Definitely recommend that. 9 souls, plus subscribers get it 50% off for $15, which is a really good price. That's another game that does hold up in price, but 15 bucks I would say is a pretty damn good price. Came out only a year ago on PlayStation 4 and 5. Actually, a year ago this month, yeah, November 26th. Note Sekiro-inspired combat, and it is a fairly challenging game, so keep that in mind, but 15 bucks on that. You got Sniper Elite 5, that's on sale, $27.49 for the complete edition, seems kind of pricey. Planet Coasters 2 is on sale. Sea of Stars, 21 bucks, 40% off on that. You know, really solid RPG that's a bit of a throwback, and they did put out free DLC for the game, Throes of the Watchmaker. That's like 8 hours of additional content for the game, so shout out to them. It was a plus extra game for a little while, for a year, but then the year came up, and now you gotta buy it, so $21 on that. Squirrel with the Gun, $9. Crisis Remastered Trilogy, low-key, quite possibly the best deal in the all of the sales that are running right now. It's $12.49. I mean, that price for Crisis 1, 2, and 3 is fantastic. I remember when this came out and it was 50 bucks, and I was like, yo, this is crazy. Like, the $50 price tag was insane. $12.49, you know, waiting all this time, it's finally at a price point where I would say, hey, that's a damn good pickup. And sure, it's not like the best upgrades in the world, but I would still say Crisis 1, 2, and 3, to get all 3 of those games for this price, really good pickup. And I loved Crisis 2. I thought Crisis 2 was awesome. I know Crisis 1 got a lot of attention for it being, you know, can your PC run it type of game, but Crisis 2 I thought was fantastic. And I actually liked the more focused level design in Crisis 2. Just had a great time with it. But yeah, $12.49 on that. And then there's Crab's Treasure is $15. That was a really well-received Souls. Like, a lot of charm to it, but 15 bucks on that. MX vs. ATV Legends, $25, $54 for the Ultimate Edition. Overcooked 1 and 2, $8.74. MX vs. ATV All Out, $5.99. Dungeons & Dragons Neverwinter Nights 2, $24. Slay the Spire, $7.49. Damn good deal there. Love Slay the Spire, a game that on its surface seems pretty simple, but you know, roguelike deck building card games, not a genre that I think that I would have initially thought would be a really compelling and unique genre, but definitely turned out to be a cool game with Slay the Spire. Now you see a lot of those games of that ilk come out, but Slay the Spire to me was the first one of that style that I played, and I really did enjoy it. So definitely would recommend that, and for $7.49, great pickup there. Deep Rock Galactic, $8.99 on that. That's a game that if you have a couple friends to play with, you're gonna have a great time with it. They've done a great job updating it as well, so 9 bucks on that. Nice Day for Fishing is $15. Dead Cells, Medley of Pain bundle. You got Dead Cells and all of the DLC, including Return to Castlevania. I've talked about Dead Cells ad nauseum. You know, the action roguelike genre is a lot of competition. There's a lot of games of that ilk. Dead Cells was the one that really resonated with me, and one of those games that I went back to for quite a while. Haven't played it in a little bit now, but I played it earlier this year, so it hasn't even been that long. But yeah, $24 on that. Definitely a great pickup there. Wreckfest, 70% off for $8.99. Darksiders Genesis for $7.99. Pretty good pickup there. Bug Snacks, yeah, the PlayStation's killer launch app, $9.99 for that. Rain World is $9.99. Biomutant is $9.99 as well. Biomutant's a game that, you know, when it came out at $60 and there was so much hype for it, I don't know if you guys remember, but Biomutant legit had a good amount of hype leading into its release. New studio, had developers that worked on Just Cause, vibrant open world, and I was really excited for it. Didn't live up to expectations. You know, it's an okay game, and I think if you go back and play it with tempered expectations, you could have a pretty good time with it. I still think the world is gorgeous, and I think some of the gameplay is enjoyable. The narration and the narrative to this game, absolutely atrocious. Like, some of the worst I think I've ever seen out of a video game, but for $9.99, you can mute it, enjoy the visuals, enjoy the world, listen to a podcast at the same time, or do whatever, and for $9.99, a pretty good deal there. What else we got? Bright Memory Infinite, 40% off for $11.99. Rotato is $3.49. Tales of Iron 2, Whiskers of Winter is $12.49. And the bundle with Tales of Iron 1 and 2 for 15 bucks, low-key a good deal there. Those games are really well received, so something to check out there. Spirit of the North 2, $18 on that. Was honestly a little surprised when Spirit of the North got a follow-up title, but Spirit of the North was a really, really visually pleasing game. I just don't know if I would recommend, or I would think of, like, the game. $18 is just a little bit on the pricey side, so it is what it is. Last Faith, $15.39 on that. What else we got? Enotria, the last song is $19.99. Animal Well, $18.74 on that as well. Animal Well is still I want to say fairly recent, but I feel like it's already been like a year and a half since this game has come out. Yeah, it's been a year and a half. Literally will be a year and a half in a couple of days, but you know, it was really well received. It was a Plus title when it came out, has been since pulled from Plus, but yeah, 1874 on that. Tormented Souls is $4.99. A sequel to that just came out in Tormented Souls 2. Shadows of Doubt, 50% off for $12.49 on that. Until then, 50% off for $9.99 if you want a game that pulls at the emotional aspect of gaming. If you want a game that hits the feels, Until Then is a great one. Again, it's a game that you gotta be in the right mental state, I feel, to play it, and I feel like it can make some people very depressed, but yeah, I'm all about those games from time to time, because, yo, we play so many games that really don't try to go that emotional, that every now and again, when you do play a game like that, it's something a little bit different that I'm totally down with. And not everybody is going to emotionally resonate with games like that. I always say that with games like Gris, with games like Journey, that when they try to be these like kind of emotional experiences, I just feel like emotions are a wide spectrum of just things that everybody feels in different ways, that some of these games will be like experiences that change people's life. If you look up reviews of Until Then and how people talk about this game and some of those other games that I mentioned, like Gris and whatnot, life-changing games for some people. Other people just appreciate them for what they are, but I always feel like they're worthwhile games to play through, and for $9.99, I think that's a really good buy. Bionic Bay, 40% off for $11.99. That's a game that was really well received as well. Been on my radar for a bit, but haven't gotten around to it. Gorgeous game from a visual standpoint, though, so there you go with that. Speedrunners, $1.99 on that. Bum Simulator is $9.99. What are the reviews on Bum Simulator on the PlayStation Store? Hey, it's got a 4 out of 5, which is actually pretty decent. It's just that some of these lower-key simulator titles are the ones that, you know, sometimes feel like they're slapped together. But hey, shout out to Bum Simulator for $9.99. Spider Heck, $5.24. Spirit of the North, $1.99. Like, that's a price at Spirit of the North for $1.99. That's a great deal. Like, I would definitely recommend that. It's just, you know, the Spirit of the North 2, I get it, more recent of a release, but 9x the cost of the first one. Nobody Saves the World, $8.74 on that. After Image for $4.99, low-key banger there. That's another one of those action platformers. You know, a lot of games in that genre, but for $4.99, that's a pretty darn good deal. I would definitely have a gander at that. Elix 2 is $15. Kingdoms of Amalur Re-Reckoning, that's the Fate Edition with the DLC, $13.74 on that. Degrees of Separation, which is a game that I checked out and I had a pretty decent time with. Not a lot of depth to its gameplay, but how it does utilize the characters and the various puzzles. You have like 2 playable characters, and you have to use their abilities to solve puzzles and these platforming sections. I think it's pretty good done. Co-op game as well, so if you want to play it with somebody, you can do that as well. Frostpunk Complete Collection, $4.94 on that. Dude, that's a banger. That actually, low-key, might be the best deal in this entire sale. I'm sorry, Crisis Trilogy, but $4.94 on that is insane, given that you get the base game and the DLC. That's a tremendous deal. Like, that's a ridiculous deal. See, sometimes in these indie sale, on page 8, you'll find a deal like that. That's just a stellar deal. Highly recommend that. $4.94 on that is ridiculous. Don't Starve Console Edition is $3.74. Tales of Iron, just Tales of Iron 1 is $4.99. So, yeah, there you go with that. We have Black Sod, Under the Skin. The PS5 edition, $2.99 on that's pretty good deal as well. Definitely a solid shout there. Red Faction Guerrilla Remastered, $5.99 on that is pretty good. As much as I hate the name of that game, that's pretty good as well. But a lot of good stuff and a lot of good deals. You know, again, a lot of these games I haven't played, but isn't that the idea on PlayStation Store sales? Like, some of the complaints are always, oh, it's the same games over and over again. Well, here you got a lot of indie games that I myself have not played a ton of these games. You guys have probably not played a ton of these games, so certainly there's some stuff to find out and play through for yourself. So, yeah, some good stuff across the board. Like Spirit of the North, again, $1.99 on that. Pretty damn good when it comes to that. But that'll do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. As always, sound off there. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more coverage of both of the sales. But as always, thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.